I'm Dr. Nicole Cifra Gancayco, and I'm a board-certified pediatrician and an adolescent medicine fellow at the University of Rochester. I'm also a member of the Alumni Council at Grove City College. This video is intended for general information only and does not replace advice from your healthcare provider. I have no financial disclosures. I'm here to talk to you about the COVID vaccine. I've gotten quite a few questions from my patients, family, and friends about the vaccine, so I wanted to share some pertinent information. I've been on both the giving and the receiving end of this vaccine, so I'm hopeful I can shed some light on this important topic based on my training as a physician and public health professional, as well as my own personal experience. The most common concern I hear is the speed of vaccine development. It's certainly an understandable question. I can share a few things that have worked in our favor to make these vaccines available to us in a relatively short amount of time. First, this was not the first high-profile coronavirus that caught the scientific community's attention. Other viruses such as SARS and MERS were also coronaviruses. This gave us a head start on developing the technology needed for these vaccines. Another key factor is the government and taxpayers taking away much of the financial risk for vaccine creation. The most important part of creating a vaccine is a phase 3 placebo-controlled trial. Based on those data, the FDA can make decisions on authorizing its use. Phase 3 trials have tens of thousands of people enrolled to test both the safety and the efficacy of a vaccine. As you can imagine, it's a huge financial undertaking, and pharmaceutical companies want to be reasonably assured that a phase 3 trial will show a drug or vaccine has benefit before investing all that time or money. By the government guaranteeing the purchase of the vaccine before it was fully studied, it allowed companies to go ahead and start those phase 3 trials promptly, as much of that financial risk was taken away. Another question I've been getting is in regard to safety. The phase 3 trial subjects were monitored for 2 months after their second dose of the vaccine. This time period is important because this is a time period in which you see adverse side effects, including serious adverse side effects from vaccines. There can be serious adverse side effects from vaccines that are exceedingly rare. However, there were no serious side effects or deaths noted that were attributed to the vaccine. Since the vaccine has rolled out, there have been reports about adverse events for people after getting the vaccine. Sometimes there are rare side effects that occur roughly 1 in a million, so these aren't observed until you give millions and millions of doses. It's also possible that these events, such as Bell's palsy or facial droop, for example, are occurring at what we call a background rate, which is the rate in which you would expect people to have these events anyway. The post-approval data gathering will help tease out whether or not these events are related to the vaccine. In any case, they have been extremely rare and reversible. The most typical side effects that you can expect are arm soreness, chills, and fever. These are indicators that your immune system is doing its job. I had chills and a pretty sore arm for about 24 hours after both doses of my vaccine, and a fever after my second dose. This was actually quite exciting because I knew it was my immune system learning how to protect me from COVID-19. In closing, what I've emphasized to my patients, friends, and family is this: nothing is without risk. This vaccine is not without any risk at all, just as driving a car isn't. What's also really important to recognize is that not getting the vaccine is also a risk. For me, the choice was easy. Getting the vaccine was clearly the safest, least risky option. If you have questions specific to you about the vaccine, have a conversation with your doctor or healthcare provider. Stay safe and be well.